Hi, boys and girls. We have another story for you, and it's a fantasy story. The story is called The Mysterious Tadpole. Now, a fantasy story is made up of not real things. So there are characters and events that happen in the story do not happen in real life. Now, while you're listening to the story, why do you think this tadpole is mysterious? And also think about the essential question, how do animals change as they grow? Hope you enjoy the story. The Mysterious Tadpole, written and illustrated by Kellogg. Essential question, how do some animals change as they grow? Greetings, nephew, cried Lois's Uncle McAllister. I've brought a wee bit of Scotland for your birthday. Thanks, said Lois. Look, Mom and Dad, it's a tadpole. Lois named his Alphonse and promised to take very good care of him. Lois took Alphonse to school for show and tell. Class, here we have a splendid example of a tadpole, exclaimed Miss Shelbert. Let's ask Lois to bring it back every week so we can watch it become a frog. Miss Shelbert was amazed to see how quickly Alphonse grew. Maybe it's because he only eats cheeseburgers, said Lois. When Alphonse became too big for his jar, Lois moved him to the kitchen sink. He's a perfect pet, said Lois. Lois and Alphonse loved to play games. Be careful, Lois, said his mother. The living room is not a soccer field. Something is going to get broken. And she was right. That same day, the soccer ball slammed into Aunt Tabitha's antique lamp. This tadpole is out of control, said Lois's mother. Something must be done. It won't happen again, promised Lois. I'll take Alphonse to obedience school. The only animals at obedience schools were dogs. Some of their owners stared at Alphonse suspiciously. Pretend you're a dog, whispered Lois. Alphonse tried to bark, but it sounded like a burp. Hold on a minute, said the trainer. What kind of dog is this? He's a hairless spotted water spaniel from Scotland, explained Lois. Alphonse quickly learned to sit, stay, and retrieve. He graduated at the top of his class. My parents will be very pleased, said Lois. But Lois's parents were not pleased when Alphonse outgrew the sink and had to be moved to the bathtub. This shower is too crowded, complained Lois's father. This bathroom is a mess, moaned Lois's mother. At least Lois's classmates enjoyed Alphonse, who was still making weekly visits. Wow! Show and tell is more fun than recess, they yelled. But one day, Miss Shelbert decided that Alphonse was not turning into an ordinary frog. She asked Lois to stop bringing him to school. By the time summer vacation arrived, Alphonse had outgrown the bathtub. We could buy the parking lot next door and build him a swimming pool, suggested Lois. Be sensible, declared Lois's parents. Swimming pools are expensive. We're sorry, Lois, but this situation has become impossible. Tomorrow you will have to take your tadpole to the zoo. But I can put my friend in a cage, cried Lois. That night Lois was very sad, until he remembered that the gym in the nearby high school had a swimming pool. Lois hid Alphonse under a carpet and smuggled him inside. Nobody uses this place during the summer, whispered Lois. You'll be safe here. After making sure that Alphonse felt at home, Lois said goodbye. I'll be back tomorrow with a big pile of cheeseburgers, he promised. Lois came every afternoon to play with Alphonse. In the mornings, he earned the money for the cheeseburgers by delivering newspapers. The training continued as well. Lois would say, "Alphonse, retrieve!" And Alphonse would succeed every time. As summer vacation passed, Lois became more and more worried about what would happen to Alphonse when the high school kids returned. After his first day of classes, Lois ran to the high school and found that the gym bustling with activity. The swim team was heading for the pool. "Stop!" cried Lois. "On your mark," bellowed the coach. "Get set!" "Excuse me, sir," said Lois. "Go!" roared the coach. Alphonse rose to the surface to welcome the swimmers. "It's a submarine from another planet!" shrieked the coach. "Call the police! Call the Navy!" "No! It's only a tadpole," said Lois. "He's my pet." The coach was upset and confused. "You have until tomorrow," he cried, "to get that creature out of the pool." Lois telephoned his friend Miss Severs, the librarian, and asked for her help. "I'll be right there," she said. Miss Severs rushed to meet Lois at the high school. When she saw Alphonse, she was so startled that she dropped her purse into the water. "Retrieve!" said Lois, and Alphonse did. "Where did this astounding animal come from?" cried Miss Severs. "He was a birthday gift from my uncle," Louis replied. Miss Severs telephoned Uncle McAllister. "Oh, the wee tadpole," he said. "Why, he came from the lake nearby. It's the one folks called Loch Ness." "Brace yourself, Lois," Miss Severs said. "I believe your uncle found the Loch Ness monster." "I don't care," cried Lois. "Alphonse is my friend, and I love him." He pleaded with Miss Severs to help him raise enough money to buy the parking lot so he could build a big swimming pool for Alphonse. Suddenly, Miss Severs had an idea. "Long ago, a pirate ship sank in the harbor," she said. "No one has ever been able to find it or its treasure chest, but perhaps we can." The next morning, they drove to the harbor and rented a boat. "This is a treasure chest," cried Lois. "Retrieve!" Alphonse disappeared under the water and returned with the chest. It was filled with gold and jewels. "Let's buy the parking lot and get to work," cried Miss Severs. Lois's parents were shocked to see a construction crew in the parking lot. "Lois!" they cried. "What in the world is going on here?" "Alphonse found a pirate treasure ship," explained Lois, "and we used part of our gold to buy you this present." Lois's parents were shocked once again. "Tickets for a vacation cruise to Hawaii?" they gasped. "And," said Lois, "you don't have to worry about us because Granny has agreed to babysit." They hugged Lois. They kissed Alphonse. "How soon can we leave?" they cried. "Immediately," said Lois. By the time Lois' parents returned, the swimming pool was being enjoyed by everyone in the city. A week later, Lois said, "Alphonse, tomorrow's my birthday, which means that you've been my best friend for a whole year." The next day, Uncle McAllister arrived for the party. "Greetings, Lois, my lad," he exclaimed. "I've come with a curious stone from the hills of Scotland." "Happy birthday!" "Wow, thanks," said Lois. Suddenly, the stone began to tremble and crack.